We would like to congratulate Dr. Cruikshank and his entire team at Woodcrest Dairy for their involvement in the development of the dams behind King Doc and, of course, breeding Doc himself, our newest million-unit selling bull at Select Sires. The cow family behind Doc is one of the most celebrated families in the history of the Holstein breed. Doc's fifth dam is the celebrated Durham daughter, Debutante Ray, who spent plenty of time turning heads during her great career. Doc's seventh dam is the heralded Tony Ray, and of course his 10th dam is none other than the queen of the breed, Roxy herself. Definitely a family that requires no introduction to Holstein breed enthusiasts. This great cow family came to Woodcrest with the purchase of Doc's grand dam, the Snowman daughter, Dolly Ray. She would go on to become an excellent 91-point cow with several impressive production records and is likely the source of the consistent milk production we see in Doc's daughters. A flush of Dolly Ray as a heifer to Shamrock Mac produced Doc's dam, and in turn a flush of Mac Daddy as a heifer to King Boy resulted in the creation of Doc himself. Doc was one of the last King Boy sons acquired by Select, and like so many times in history, this late King Boy son proved to be the most consequential of all the King Boy sons, easily besting his paternal brothers for TPI and type. His first genomic prediction wasn't proof positive he would eventually become a million-unit selling bull, but it did indicate he would sire breed-leading type and his daughters would excel for milk production. And it was this combination of milk and type that have held up so consistently over his entire career that have earned Doc the customer satisfaction label required for him to reach this historic milestone. Celebrating another millionaire at Select Sires is always an exciting occasion. With the advent of genomics, some thought we would not continue to see bulls achieve this milestone. But Doc is a great testimonial to what can happen when the tool of genomics are used correctly, from the mating concept to the selection of the individual himself. Doc is also a reminder how it takes a village to raise and manage a bull in his entire career to maximize his potential. Congratulations to the Woodcrest team for breeding Doc, and to all those at Select Sires that carried him to this milestone. And finally, thanks to all of our customers who put their faith in Doc by purchasing his semen again and again to reach 1 million units sold. Congratulations, Doc.
You know, when I look back at Doc's career and think of all that he's accomplished, it's fun to look back and see where he started. And going through some old files and seeing where this bull was in early 2016, just a couple months old, he got in his first evaluation. Wasn't the highest King Boy son. In fact, he was the last King Boy son that we got genomic predictions on. Was middle of the pack, but yet had this unique combination of milk and type. And type in both US and Canada, and became sort of an interesting bull for our program. I had the pleasure of starting to take over the showcase program in mid-2015. Had a great foundation from those before me, and we had historical bulls like Atwood, Goldship, Dempsey that were great standard bearers of the program, but at the twilight of their careers. And who was the bull to take their place? We had the choice to make him a showcase sire. And it was kind of at that time that crossover comment was made, and he would have broad-based appeal and work in a variety of environments. And that's what we hoped that Doc would be. 54,000 daughters and 1 million units later, he's almost exactly the same as that initial prediction. But additionally, we wanted to use Doc as a sire father. And I look back and historically sent semen to about 25 different herds, trying to cast the net to see if we could make a son of Doc that would meet the muster. And fortunately, there was a few matings that just really clicked. And one of those was at Seamers Holsteins, of breeding that Monterey daughter to Doc, getting 3 full brothers in Handsome, Hanford, and the most popular and successful in Hancock, who remains the #1 udder composite proven bull in the breed today. But we also got a daughter. In 28286 is the mother of the Global Cow of the Year, Luster 3317, and all of those sons that have resided from those next 2 generations with Hannons and the multitude of H bulls that are in the showcase lineup. And I like Doc enough that I encouraged Jeff Ziegler to use him in the art program as well, and he did, and we had success with several bulls that we brought in. But a magical mating again was Jeff's decision to breed Jedi Have-Not to Doc, and that created two brothers that we marketed, and then those two amazing daughters, 8784, affectionately known to the world now as Doc, selling for a record price, and 8783, and both of those cows have had just such a huge impact on the breed. Then you think about other daughters that made sons for the industry from those original matings. All have had an influence. So this massive influx of Doc's genetics to the breed, I think, have done the breed a lot of good, but bringing in that combination of high milk, high type, and stability. So thank you, Doc, for all you've done.